Do you want to build a beautiful website, but you have no idea how? You have zero experience. I get it. Don't you worry. I'm here to help you. In this course, you're going to learn how to build a snazzy website that's also functional. We're going to use WordPress, Astra theme, and Elementor page builder that makes it super easy to build beautiful websites for you. Hi, my name is CM Manjunath, and let's get started building your beautiful website. So, I've divided this entire course into 10 important lessons, short, crispy, to the point, and here's an overview. First, we're going to learn about domain name and hosting services. Then we will install WordPress. You will see how to clean the dashboard up and make it easy for you to get started. You will install a theme called Astra, which is super good, absolutely free. Install plugins that will make your page building experience easier. I'll show you how to create and delete pages for you, create a menu. We'll have a front page or the home page with some changes to the URL settings. Then we'll get into the meat and potatoes where we will we'll actually build a website, design a web page at least. The home page I'm going to show you using Elementor. You can use the same ideas to build any page on your website, whether it's about us, services, contact, etc. We'll also make your website mobile responsive so that your website loads properly on a desktop, tablet, as well as a smartphone. And finally, this website that I'm building is for an actual business. So we're going to generate leads for them. And for this, you need a contact form and set it up with an email. That's what's coming up. So if you implement all of these, whatever you learn in this course, you will have your own full-fledged WordPress website that's world-class, looks beautiful. Let's do this. Welcome to lesson number 1. In this lesson, you're going to learn about 3 things. Number 1, domain name. Number 2, hosting services. And number 3, WordPress. So let's dive in. Step 0 is about understanding the domain name and hosting services. In order to build a website, you absolutely need a domain name and hosting services. A domain name is your website's address. It could be something like www.amazon.com, facebook.com, yourwebsite.com. That right there, the address, is the domain name. When you build a website, you're going to store text, images, videos, and all that stuff needs to be stored someplace. You need a server space for that. You need to store your website's content on that server. That's called the hosting services. Now you got to buy these two in order to have a website. This is foundational. And then we'll install something called WordPress. WordPress is a content management system. It helps you manage everything that goes into a website and makes it easy for beginners like us to build the website pretty easily. WordPress, amazing, and it's free. So the only things that you'd have to pay for would be the domain name and hosting services. You might be wondering, which hosting services should you actually buy? That's a great question. I recommend Hostinger.com. Okay, Hostinger is one of the best in the world right now when it comes to server space or hosting services. There are many benefits. One of them is it is super affordable and it's very beginner friendly, and the tech support is great as well. So I'll leave a link in the description down below. Click on there and you should be able to get to this screen. Now once you get to this screen, on the top right, you should see a login button. I want you to click on that and you will see this screen. I'll zoom in a little bit right here. Look for the sign up link at the bottom right corner. Click on there and then you can enter your email address and sign up, or you can even use your Gmail ID to sign up. Either will work. Okay. Now once you're on there, once you signed up, you can go into the pricing and take a look at the pricing available. If you want to build just one website, then you could go with a single plan. But if you want to have multiple websites up to 25, you can go with a premium plan. I have a premium account. For you, pick what makes sense to you. And another benefit of hosting is the fact that you get a free domain name. Remember, I told you, in order to have a website, you need a domain name as well as a hosting account. But when you go with the Hostinger's hosting account, you get a free domain name as well. So that's another big advantage. Okay, Hostinger. I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. It's an affiliate link. Click on that and you should be able to get this. Right, now once you're signed in, once you signed up, enter your payment details and pick your domain name, you would get to this screen. Okay, you'll be on the home screen like so. I want you to go to websites and then website list. You will see a plus add website. Click on there and then click WordPress. And this is where it's going to ask you to enter your email address and password and all that. This is the onboarding process to install WordPress. Remember, WordPress is free. I want you to type in a password that you can remember. If you can't, please write it down. Note the password on a notepad. Then click next. Pay close attention here. You don't need to pick any. Use this button. Use a theme instead. We're going to click on there. We are okay with the default. Click next. And we do not want any of these plugins. I'll tell you more about the plugins later. For now, click on do not install plugins. And this is where it's going to ask you to enter your email address. Okay, not the email address, but the domain name, remember? For some reason, there was a glitch. So I'm going to do this one more time real quick. There we go. This time it shows our domain name. This is the domain name that I got for free when I signed up for the hosting account. I'll select that. That gets put there in the inbox. And now we're ready to install WordPress. It's already installing it. It'll take a couple of seconds. I'll fast forward this. I'll see you in a little bit. And there we go. It's 100%. It's all done. The WordPress is now installed and we are on the dashboard. It can be that simple. You see, now you got a domain name, a hosting account, and you've got installed WordPress. I hope you're following along, okay? I'll see you in lesson number 2. Let's get started with lesson number 2. This is an easy one. Now that you've got your WordPress installed, we're just going to go into our WordPress dashboard, access it, and clean things up a little bit. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to switch to my WordPress website right here. There's this onboarding process that has like a checklist of things. I don't care about this. On the left, click on dashboard. And this is what you're going to see. Okay. It has a bunch of things. What I like to do is, let me grab my webcam like so. On the top, you will see screen options. Click on there. Okay. Uncheck everything other than at a glance. Okay, that's the only thing that I usually have. If you don't want that either, you can uncheck that too. And that's cleaning up of the dashboard. Okay, that's one thing I do. The next thing I also do is look at my plugins. I usually delete all the pre-installed plugins. This is like bloatware. Just select on this first checkbox, bulk actions, delete all of them and apply. You know what, first you'll have to deactivate them. So I'm going to click on deactivate first, apply, they're all deactivated. Then we'll delete all of them. That's it. Okay, so that takes care of the plugins that are pre-installed. We've removed them. You can go into pages. There's one default page and that's okay. That's it. That's all there is to it. Lesson number 2, done. Super easy. All right, welcome to lesson number 3. We've installed WordPress, we've cleaned up the dashboard. What do we do next? we install a theme. That's what this is about. We're going to install a theme called Astra, and then of course we are going to install something called a starter template that will give you an easy to build foundation to get started. Let's do this. Nice. Here we go. I'm going to head into appearance and then themes. That's where you'd want to go, and then click on add a new theme like so. And you will see Astra right here in the list. Now, if you don't see it, that's okay too. You see the search themes, click there and type Astra like so. And that would come up right up there. You click on install and activate it. That's it. Looks beautiful, right? Now, as you do that, it's going to prompt you. Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't, and it's okay. You see, it says, thank you for choosing Astra theme. Build your dream site in minutes with AI. Say goodbye to blah, blah, blah. And it says, let's get started with starter templates. You can click on the button right here. That's one way of doing it. I'll also show you another way. On the left, go to plugins and then add new plugin. Okay. And this is where we are going to type starter templates. Starter templates. And when you do that, you're going to see the very first one from a company called Brainstorm Force. Let me zoom in. You see that? Should be from Brainstorm Force. That's the one we want. Okay, click on install now and then activate. Pretty quickly, that's done. So we've got the starter templates in place. Awesome, awesome, that's good. Right, so that's basically it for lesson number 3. Super simple, right? We installed the Astra theme and we got the starter templates installed as well. We're doing good. Let's move. Ta-da! Welcome to lesson number 4. And now this is where we are going to dive into installing Elementor, a page builder plugin that makes your job easy. Okay, and then we're also going to install a couple more plugins. Okay, let's do this real quick. One, head into your dashboard, WordPress dashboard. On the left, you should be able to see plugin, add a new plugin. That's where you'll see this. You click on add a new plugin. We're going to type Elementor in the search box, the world's best website builder. Okay. And that's right there. Not the add-ons. I'm talking about this one right here. Okay. It should be from a company, Elementor. Remember that. Think of plugins like your phone's apps. Okay, you're adding these to make your phone even more powerful, right? You add these apps to do specific things. Think of them like add-ons that make your phone more interesting. Just like that, these plugins give you additional functionality to your website. Okay, it makes it even more robust. All right, we've got Elementor as well. That's wonderful. I'm going to add another plugin and we're going to call this WP Forms. Remember, I told you that this is going to be a lead generation website. So we want to install forms where people can enter their name and email address and phone number and all that good stuff. Okay, so there it is, WordPress Forms, the WP Forms. I'm going to install and activate it. Yeah. Let's do one more plugin, and that is going to be Rank Math SEO. I'm going to click on add new plugin and we'll search for SEO. You will see Yoast SEO and then Rank Math, and I'm going to go with Rank Math, install and activate it. That's it. You're done. Okay. That's about it. I'm going to click on skip now and just get to the dashboard real quick. That's it. Okay. So that's all we have for lesson number 4. Thank you for watching. On to lesson number 5. In this lesson, you're going to learn 2 things: how to create and delete pages. Pretty simple. Now, when we start building our website, obviously this theme would give us some pre-built pages. Okay. But I still wanted to show you how to create and delete pages. So let's do this quickly. On the left, in the menu, go into pages, all pages. Once you are there, it should look something like this. By default, WordPress gives us a privacy policy page, but it's not published, but it's in the draft status. Okay, you can click on it Once you do so, on the top right, you're going to see publish button. You can click publish and publish one more time, twice, and that'll do the trick. Now that page is published, the privacy policy page. It doesn't say draft anymore. Pay attention to that. Okay, so the next thing, I want to click on add new page. You see that what I did? There's a button up here that says add new page. Click on there and you can call this home if you wanted to. And like we did earlier, you'd want to click on publish and hit publish one more time. Okay, so that's how you would add new pages and publish them. You can click on the back button. You see now we have the home page and the privacy policy page. What if I didn't want this page? I want this deleted. Okay, you have two ways to do it. One, just hover over and you'll see trash. You can either click on trash right here, or you can click on the checkbox and then move to trash. Either way it'll work. Click apply. And it's gone. You see, now it'll be in the trash folder. You can either delete it permanently or you can restore it. I'm going to delete it permanently and poof, it's gone. So simple. Lesson number 5, done, dusted. Okay, are you ready to do some magic? Let's go ahead, get started with the templates. Lesson number 6. There are 2 steps. One, we are going to pick a template and then I'm going to switch between backend and front end so that you can see how to design it. Okay, let's do this. So here we are on the dashboard. This is how you should see on the screen. Yeah. Okay, one more time. You see, I like cleaning all of these up. We'll have to do this a couple of times, I guess. Click on screen options again, uncheck all of these. They look a little crappy, so I want that cleaned up. I like to have a nice dashboard. So now how do we get started with the templates? I want you to first take a look at the website. Okay, this is the back end or the dashboard of the website. If you want to see the front end, to see how your website looks like right now to anybody, just take your mouse over on the top left, right click on there, open link in a new tab. Okay, I usually like to keep it like this. I like to open the front end on a new tab so that when I can make a change here, I can see what's happening in the front end. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It's just plain vanilla right now. Okay, and what we want to do is be able to use the starter template. So for this, head into appearance and then starter templates. Now you will be presented with 2 buttons. One, you can use the AI website builder, which is awesome by the way, but we're not going to use that right now. We'll go with the classic build with templates. Now you're presented with 2 more options. You can go with WordPress's block editor or Elementor. Guess what we're going to go with? Elementor. Click next. And then it's going to ask you to take a look at all the different templates that are available for you. Okay, very cool templates are available for you. You'll notice that some of them don't have any label, like this one. It says we all love nature. This is a preview of what the website will look like once you build it. And in some cases you'll see this thingy that says premium, which means this is a paid one. Okay, you wouldn't want to do that. If you're just getting started, go with one of the free ones and that'll do. Also up top, you will see the different categories. If you have a business, under business, agency, restaurant, and so on and so forth. If you have a local business, like an AC technician, an electrician, electrician, you see that? And so on and so forth. So you can pick what makes sense to you. Guess what? Mine is an electrician's website, so I'm going to pick electrician. And there are a number of options available for me that I can go with. This one is just designed for electricians. There's locksmith, and this is a premium one for a furniture shop. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go with the first one, electrician. Click. Now it's going to ask me to enter a site logo. Do I have one? Not yet. Not yet. I'll do that later. Do I want to pick a different font style? Yeah, this is your default font. If you don't like it, you can pick another one. This one, this one, this. just pick one and go with it. Don't think too much, okay? And then you have the color palette. You can change this later as well. You see that right now it's all blue. Let's say I were to switch to red. Woo, you see that? That instantly changes. Pretty cool. Okay, have these selected. Make sure you select continue. And then you click submit and build my website. Okay, this is how the front end looks like at this point. Once it's installed, you'll see the magic happen. It's going to be so cool. Drum rolls. All right, welcome back to lesson number 7. This is where we are going to deep dive designing our website. This is what we've been waiting for. Lesson number 7. Step number 1, we are going to use Elementor to design our website. Remember, Elementor is the page builder that we are going to use. And step number 2 is we are going to look at the front end of the website and use that as a feedback mechanism to make tweaks. All right, so without further ado, let's dive in. I'm going to show you the website. This is how it looks like. This is the front end, and up top in the ribbon you see edit with Elementor. Edit with Elementor is what you need to click, and when you do that, you're going to start designing the website. Okay, so just a quick note, up here what you see is a logo and the menu with the phone number. That's called the header. That's the header of the website. Okay, we'll design that later. I'm going to look at the body now. We'll do the header and footer next. Okay, so here we go. Elementor, this is how it works, folks. Keep an eye. On the left are all the widgets. To the right is the canvas. This is where you design your website. Okay, the home page looks like this. As you take your mouse over, hover over, you will see that there is like a menu up top which has a plus symbol, 6 dots and an X. If I clicked on X, you see that the moment I hover over, it says delete container. Hopefully you can see that. Small font, okay? When I click there, boom, that's gone. Okay, that's how you delete it. I'm going to do a Command Z or Control Z to bring it back up. Okay, and if you clicked on this 6 dots, it's going to bring up the menu. You see here, this is called a container. Okay, this whole thing is a container. You see this? There is like a big boundary around it. Okay, this whole thing is called a container. On Elementor, you'll have 3 tabs. Whether you pick a container or one of the elements, you'll see 3 tabs here. Okay, for the container, it's layout, style, and advanced. These are the 3 things you have: layout, style, and advanced. Okay, and under layout, you have very many things. Under layout, you have many different things. Styling, you have different things, and so is advanced. Okay, there are a number of properties for this container, so you can tweak it according to your needs. We'll go into the details, but I just want you to get the overview first. So there it is. That's a container, all right? Now within a container, you see as I hover over, you'll see a little gray dotted line, okay, a dotted border. And you'll see that again to the right. Okay, so 1 and 2. Now these are called columns. So within your container, there are smaller containers which give you the structure of columns. Okay, so that's what it is. So if I clicked on here, you'll notice again it says edit container. Click here, same thing. All right, and this one obviously takes 60%, right? And this one takes 40. So this is in percentage. It takes the entire screen real estate and it breaks it down for each column. Okay, now next thing that you should know is within the columns will be your elements, okay, or the widgets. So in this case, this right here is a heading widget. How do I know? Pay attention to this. You see right now we are in the container. This is what's selected. So you see edit container. If I were to click on here somewhere like this, you'll notice that it changed to edit heading. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. That is edit heading. Okay, we are editing the heading. Again, under editing the heading or any element, you will have 3 tabs. The first one is content. Content is what goes in here. For example, when it comes to reliability, you can highlight this, hit delete and type something, and guess what? Whatever you type here on the left will appear in the front end, this part, okay? And also you can link it to another page or another website if you wanted to. You can do all of that. That's what linking is about. Hopefully you can see that right there, link. And this is the content, the title we changed. And then there is HTML tag. Now this is called an H1 tag right here. You can switch it to H2 or H3. In HTML, there are 6 headings, H1 all the way to H6. H1 is the biggest, the main one. So I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. The next thing is the style. If you clicked on style, you can align the text the way you like it. It's very similar to what you do on Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Yeah. So if you clicked on center align, right align, justified, and so on. Okay. I'm going to leave it at left. And if you clicked on it, by default, it will be left aligned. You can also change the font family. You look at this typography. Let me zoom in. Typography. You click on there and you get to choose the different fonts. Okay, so there we go. Family, click on the drop down menu. You see Arial, Tahoma, Verdana, Helvetica, and so on and so forth. You can change it if you'd like. The next thing is the font size itself. If you were to increase the font size, you just need to slide it to the right like so, or slide it to the left to reduce the font size. Okay, I'm going to remove it so that it goes back to default. You can also add weight, which means the thickness of the font right here. You see this, keep an eye on this one. If I were to change the weight from whatever it is default right now to 900 black, that's maximum. Okay, it'll become thicker. Okay, apparently this is already in 900, I suppose. Let me do a thinner one. You see that? It's become really thin. So this determines the thickness of the text. Weight. Transform. If I were to transform the text to capital letters or whatever, uppercase letters, right? If I do uppercase, you see everything changed to uppercase. Lowercase. Capitalize. Capitalize is when the first letter of every word in that box will be a capital letter. And normal. Okay, so I leave it as default. Of course, you can tweak and play as you choose. So you can go ahead and try all of these, right? You can add line height, you can do letter spacing, you can do word spacing if you had multiple words, right? For example, you see that? That's a lot of space right there. So I'm going to hit typography again. And if you slide this down, keep an eye that space between words reduce or increase based on where you slide it. Right, so I'm just going to go back to default like so. That's it. With just one click, everything is back to what it was. That's the beauty of it. So if you made a mistake, don't worry about it. You can fix it with just a click. You can add text stroke, shadow, and so much more. Okay, so I wish I could go into each one of them in detail, but that would take me hours of your time. That could be a little difficult. I want you to explore these. I'm giving you the basics. All right. I'm going to do the same thing. If you notice here, this is not a heading. If I clicked on here, this is a text editor. Text editor is another name for paragraph. All right. So there we go. And of course, you have the content right there, style and advanced. If you go into content, this is where you can change style. I mean, in content, you'll change the content of the text, right? That's right there. Style is where you change the typography, the weight, and so on and so forth. You can even change the color. You see that text color? You could click on here and you could just drag the wheel around. Now it looks red and not so good looking. So again, I'll do clear and guess what? It's black, and I could go with white like so. Right, so that's how you do it. Pretty simple, yeah. And this is a form, and this is a button. You can click on the button, then you can tweak the button. You can change the text here. Instead of know more, let's say I want to make it learn more. There it is. Okay, you can do it that way, and you can link it to another page if you wanted to. For example, I see a home page and about page. Remember, this comes with the starter template. So I could just go to the link section for this button. If somebody clicked on the button, I want them to go to my about page. No problem. You just highlight that and type about, and guess what? The page name is going to appear, about us. You select it and it's linked. How cool is that? That's so simple. Another thing I want you to remember is, let me move my camera here. And if you notice, there is a publish button. Pay attention to that. Once you do make these changes, click publish so that it is indeed published. And you want to see how the front end looks like to get some feedback and make changes accordingly. You see that there is a preview changes. Click there and you should be able to see it. Remember, we changed the text to something gibberish like so. And then of course there's also learn more. Remember, we made this a link to go to the about us page. I'm going to click on there to test it. Boom, there it is. We are on the about us page. How cool is that? That's how it is done, folks. It's very, very simple indeed. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly swap out some of the text, and then I'll talk about images in a little bit. All right, let's do the text right now. I have on my Google Drive put some text together to keep it ready, okay? All right, so here we go, the content. I want this to be my headline, best electricians in Bangalore. I'm going to select that, head back in here. You see here, this is where you need to select. We are in the heading. Look at the content. You can paste it right there. You can also change the text by clicking right here and typing it in here, for example. Okay, I don't want that. I usually type it in here. It's up to you. You can do it either way. The next one is the text editor, the paragraph text, and I have some content for that. Our services, these are the services that my client offers. I'm going to copy, go back and select this right now, go into content, paste. Good, very, very simple, right? I've already changed this button text to learn more, but if you wanted to know one more time how it is done, just click on the button. To the right, to the left, you have the content, and then you have the text. That's where you change the label of the button. Okay, very nice. The next thing I want to quickly show you all is look at the background image. Hopefully it's visible for you. You can just click on this little arrow. There is this electrician working on something. Yeah, let's say I didn't want that image. I'm not happy with that image. I could change it. How? For this, you have to click on the background, which is the container. The moment you select it, now it says the container. Do you see that? Now, remember we spoke about the 3 tabs. Head into the second tab, style, and you will see the image right here. You can click on the trash can right here to delete that image. I'm going to do that. And now the background image is gone. You see only the blue remains. And if I wanted to add an image, it's very simple. Just click the plus button right there. And you can pick from what you already have, perhaps this one or something else. Or let's say you didn't want to use any of the images that were given to you from the starter template. You're welcome to use your own images. How? You can click on the upload files. You see that? Upload files. You can click on there, select a file. Maybe you have something on your computer. You can upload it and that'll appear right there. Okay. Or there is another option. You can go to search images, and I believe WordPress has partnered with Pixabay. I'm not sure, but you can search for images right here and get some of them. So I'm going to type electrician, and it's going to show you some images. Perhaps this is an image that was already there. Okay, what you can also do is you can pick a specific color if you're interested, right? This is blue. We were looking for blue. Remember, that's a theme. Yeah, you can go with that. Why not? Also, there is the orientation of landscape or portrait. You can click on that. Let's say you do landscape. Ta-da, there we go, right? Looks great. So I'm just going to randomly pick one of the images. Let's do this. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to insert the image. And now in the background, we have that image replaced. That's it. How simple is that? Isn't it? Very, very simple indeed. Also, if you look at this, there's like a blue overlay on top of the image. But what if you didn't want that overlay? I know it would suck, because if you did it, the text wouldn't be visible. But just in case you wanted to either change the color of the overlay or reduce the opacity of the blue overlay, you're welcome to do that. So for this, make sure you select the container. Make sure this is a container. In the style tab, scroll all the way to the bottom. You should be able to see background overlay. I want you to click on there, and you'll notice that there is a color. Click on the color, and you can pick another color. You see, as I scroll, as I pull the wheel down, the color wheel down, it's dark, it's black. Okay, if I were to slowly move it up, there we go, it's white now, and you can play around with that. If you didn't like anything, you want to go back to the default, just click that button and we're back. Okay, but this time it removes the overlay color itself. Okay, so I'm gonna go there, or I could pick another. Okay, let's assume that this was the color before. All right, that's fine. Now, the other thing I want to let you know is about the opacity. Remember, the opacity is how dark or how light the overlay color is. As I slide this down, let me zoom in. I'm on the opacity. As you slide it down, you'll notice that now the colors become light. Unfortunately, the letters, the text wouldn't pop. Okay, so that's the reason it's important to have slightly darker shade, like so. That way the letters pop. Okay, the white color pops from the dark blue background. Okay, so that's how you can change the background color or the overlay color on top of the image. One more time, a quick recap. Click on the container, go into the style tab. First, you can change the image in the background. Scroll down, you can change the background overlay color from blue to whatever it is that you want. Right, as you scroll down a little further, we have some more text. Okay, so I'm going to quickly make these changes. I've got some text already there, so I'm going to replace it with this. Now, this is just placeholder text. You can click on here. To the left, you'll see the content. Select the whole thing and paste it. Okay, now it's got something that makes sense. Experience hassle-free appliance repairs with expert service you can trust. With dedicated professional ensuring quality work, you enjoy peace of mind and long-lasting performance for your appliances. Now, this is a text that you can write yourself, get it from your client, or you can use the power of ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to get the text. No big deal, right? The next thing, and always, you know what you should do? Make sure you publish it, okay? Keep it saved. All right, I'm gonna quickly move to the next step. We have an image. Let's say I want to change this image. As you hover over, you will see that little border, pink border. Click, and you'll notice that the image appears right here. You can click, and you can choose another image. Let's say I'll pick this one, for example. And ta-da! Just like that, we have an image replaced, okay? So it's that simple. Again, I'm going to change the heading and text. and all of that right here. Let's do this real quick. So here's the thing I wanted to show you. This is called an icon list. There were three list items in this icon list. I replaced the text with air conditioners and refrigerators and oven. I have 4 here though, so I'm going to add another one. So I'm going to go with washing machines. Look at this. On the left, click on add item like so and paste it right there. All right. And so there's another thing you can do. Let me delete that off by hitting the X. I want the icon to be the 2 arrows just like that. So instead of adding an item, what I could do is you could just copy paste it. You click on that icon and it's going to be duplicated. And this time select, change the text to washing machines. So keep an eye on this one. How cool is that? So we have air conditioners, refrigerators, microwave ovens, and washing machines. Now let's say you are not happy with the icon itself. Instead of the 2 arrows pointing to the right, you could change that too if you wanted to. Right here, you see that I've selected this. On the left, go to air conditioners. For example, I see an icon. Now I can click on icon library to get different icons, hundreds of them. So I'm going to click on there like so, and you'll notice that there is some really cool icons right here. Okay, now instead of the double arrow, let's say, what if I said I want like a checkbox? Yeah, check. I'm going to go with the check. All right, I have an option to go with check inside of a circle, inside of a square, or a check without anything like so. Okay, you can go with any of them. I'll go with this just to make it slightly different. There we go. How cool is that? Okay, I could do the same thing with the rest of them. Yes. Click here, icon library again, check, ta-da, insert. Okay, beautiful. I love it already. Okay, again, if I wanted to change my button from no more to something else, I'd say get started. You see that? It changed to get started. And this time what I want people to do is when they click on there, I want them to be taken to the services page. Remember, we have a services page up here. So I'm going to do that. Select the button again. On the left, look at the link. Type services. And there it is. The page appears. I'm going to select that. We're all good. And make sure you hit publish. That's it. So you see, the first container is done. So is the second container. We're on to the third one. Now I call this the blurbs. Again, you could list all your different services. Maybe you do a B2B, B2C, something like that. You could do it like that. In this case, it's residential services, commercial, as well as industrial. And right underneath that, you see this little paragraph text. It says something, which is placeholder. What I want instead is some words, some text that makes sense. And that's what I know. This sounds repetitive because it is. You basically do the same thing over and over again. So you can skip it if you like. And there it is. That's how you do it. And if you notice, there are buttons on all 3 of the blurbs. People should be able to get to the contact us page. Okay. And again, you'll notice that there is a contact page. So what do? Very simple. Click on the button on the left in the link. Let me zoom in. You see that link? Type contact. And the contact page would appear right there. You select it. As simple as that. Yeah. You do the same thing right here, like so. Contact. And done. Yeah, that's cool. We're done with that section. On to the next one. You see how quickly it can be done? It's just mind-blowing how much you don't need to use your brain to do this. It's super simple. Just stick to what's already there. Remember, all these templates are designed by professionals. So you don't really have to worry about the spacing around the icons. No, you can just get on with it pretty quickly. Just replace. Swap out. Okay, next we have AC repairs and services. So I'm going to do that. Copy right here instead of lighting upgrades. Nicely done. Okay, so that's how you do it. But what I want to do is also change the icons right here. Okay, you know how to do it. Just click on here and you'll notice that there is an icon on your left. You can go to the icon library and let's say air conditioner, AC, something to do with AC I'm looking at. For the lack of an air conditioner, I'm just doing something like a box, and that's fine. Next is refrigerator. Again, I'm going to click on there, click on the icon library. Let's see if I can get refrigerator. And go box. Oh, maybe door. That's fine. Okay, next I'm changing. You get the idea, right? I'm not getting the right icons, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with what's there for now. Excuse me, I have no idea because I'm not getting those icons for now, but you get the idea. Fast and reliable. I think I can do something with the fast, hopefully. So fast and reliable, affordable and transparent pricing. Okay, this could be about something to do with pricing. I can do $sign. Beautiful. Yeah. So that's how you do it. Just take a little time and work on it. I'm sure you'll get the icons. Next, why choosers? I'm going to again replace it. You see what I'm going to do? Click on here. Look at that, why choosers. Why choosers? I've got some text. I'm going to copy under that. Head back. This is the text I want changed. And select it and paste it. Simple. Okay. We're done with that. Yeah. I had to re-record this part. I apologize. There was some issue with the audio. The past few seconds and minutes would have been a little bad. I apologize. So I'm re-recording this to give you a great experience. We used Elementor to build this home page. As you can see, we changed the background image, the headings, and the button text. We linked the button to another page and some more images and buttons, these icon lists as we call it. Yeah, all that. So pretty much everything was done. I even changed the footer text later. So watch this course till the end. Later you will see how I did this because I'm re-recording this. This is already updated. Okay, another thing I want to quickly introduce you all to is on the left side. So this is the canvas. The right side is the canvas, remember? The left side is where you're going to get the widgets from. These are super important, as you can see. The ones you should or you will use mostly would be the basic ones. Heading, image, text editor, video, and so on and so forth. There are 10 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. These are the ones that you need to learn. Okay, if you know how to do these, you're good to go. Okay, so here's an example. If I were to add a video, let's say, I'm going to click on the plus right here. I could pick one like so. This is a column. And now I could click on the plus button right here and it'll take me to the elements. All you need to do is drag a video and put it up there. And guess what? You could have a YouTube video right there. It is so simple. Okay. So just be aware of these. These are the 10 widgets that we very frequently use. Not all of them. Heading, image, text editor, video, button, icons. That's basically it, right? Some 6 or 7. Get good with it and you'll be awesome. All right, so there we go. That is how you use Elementor. Now, if you wanted to edit another page, let's say you wanted to edit About Us page, all you need to do is open this in a new tab and there we go. And you will notice there is a link up here already in the ribbon. We did this for the home page. You do the same thing. You click on there and guess what? You swap out the images and headings and text. That's basically it. No rocket science. It's super simple, right? Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in a little bit. All right, we are down to lesson number 8. Okay, so in this there are 2 steps. One is we are going to take a look at the mobile responsiveness of our website. So without further ado, let's dive in. Remember, we were designing this website using Elementor, right? This is where we are. On the top in this ribbon, you will notice that it says desktop and then tablet, and then mobile device. I'm going to click on mobile portrait just to see how the website looks like on my mobile device. Again, because we're using these starter templates, these are designed by world-class designers. They've already done it. They've already done the work for you. So in most cases, you shouldn't have any trouble at all. You see that? It looks beautiful even on a mobile preview. If there is any change, you can tweak it. But so far, I don't see any problem at all. This looks beautiful. Yeah, I don't see any problem. But just to give you a little hint or little input, what I could do is, let's say I want this text, this paragraph text, to move up a little bit. Okay, I don't want this little space here. I want to reduce that space between the name of my city, which is Bangalore, and this text. How do you do that? Just select this. Yeah, on the left you'll see the settings. We have 3 tabs. You already know that. I want you to go to Advanced tab, and this is where you'll see something called margin and padding. These are the 2 important ones if you want to add some spacing or reduce the spacing. Guess what? In this case, I want to reduce the space between this and this. What do? Well, first unlink this. Okay, when you unlink it, we can reduce the space only at the top. If it's linked, then it's going to add or remove the space all around, right? You'll notice it says top, right, bottom, and left. We want the spacing only at the top to be reduced. So I will first unlink it, and I recommend you do too. And the top needs to become negative. Keep an eye right there. As I reduce it, you see that this text has moved up. The space in between those two has been reduced, right? Now that is too much. As you can see, it overlaps and it doesn't look good. So instead of that, I'm going to do something like so. This looks okay. You see, it's -17. That's fine. Okay, now if I clicked outside, you'll see that the space has reduced between the heading and the paragraph text. Okay, so that's how you do it. Click on this little icon up here in the ribbon, mobile, look at it and tweak according to your needs. I'll see you soon. Make sure you click publish. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in the next lesson. All right, welcome to lesson number 9. These are minor small lessons. Let's quickly do this. Number 1, I want to change the reading settings and then URL settings. Well, you know that we've already got our website. I'm going to click on the desktop. Okay, here's the thing. To switch to dashboard, of course, we have it open in another tab. But if you wanted to exit from your Elementor to go to the dashboard, you can head over on the logo right here on the left and then click exit to WordPress. When you do that, it's going to take you to that specific page. And you can click on the WordPress icon, leave, and guess what? You will be on your dashboard. Okay, so this is how you can take yourself back from Elementor to the dashboard. Okay, 2 things that I wanted to do. Number 1, when we go to the page in the front, ideally it should be home page. WordPress initially was designed for bloggers. So in some cases, your blog may appear on the home page. When you go to yourwebsite.com, you might see your blog post up here. If that happens to you, here's how to fix it. On your dashboard, scroll all the way to the bottom until you see settings. Under settings, go to reading. Here, make sure your home page displays. By default, it'll be here. In some cases, you should make sure that you pick the second one, the second radio button, and then in the home page, pick home. If you have a blog, all your posts should go under blog. In this case, we don't have a blog, so I'm going to leave it as is, but only the home page will remain. All right, that's one thing. Make sure you save that. And the second thing you should also pay attention to is, again, under settings, go to permalinks. And in here, make sure in all of these radio buttons, the post name should be selected. Okay, this is SEO friendly URL. Okay, what is SEO? You'll learn about that in another video. Maybe I'll make that. But for now, just know that you have to have post name selected in the permalinks. Scroll down. By default, it's already there, but just in case it isn't, make sure that you select the post name. Click Save Changes. You're good. Yo, we're on to lesson number 10. How good is that? Okay, this is where I'm going to show you how to create your menu or the header and footer. And for this, we're not going to use Elementor. We're going to use the Astra theme. Okay, so we're going to customize our Astra theme to do this. How do you do this? Back on our dashboard, WordPress dashboard. Here I am. You can close the rest of the tabs. On the left, you will see that there is Astra. You see that? You see Astra right there. Go to Customize. When you do so, you're going to be able to see this right here. Okay. Remember, I told you this is called the header section. We've already tweaked the body, but not the header. So you can click on there. When you do that, it's going to, the moment I clicked on that pencil icon, edit, you'll notice that the header appears, primary header. On the left is the logo, and I recommend you put it there. By default, that's where it needs to be. People are used to it, seeing them on the website, so leave it the way it is, the logo. And then there is the primary menu. Yeah, let's say if you clicked on the primary menu right here, it's going to show you certain things such as the width of it, item divider, and so on and so forth. And then up top, there is a button that says configure the menu here. I'm going to click on there. Now, when you do so, it's going to show you the primary menu. It says top nav or top navigation. You can edit this. Let's say I didn't want the FAQ section. All right. I don't want the FAQ. I just want the home page, about us, services, and contact. Let's say that's my requirement. When you do so, you'll notice that there is home, about us, services, FAQ, and contact. Guess what? You see FAQ right there. Click on the drop down like so, and then click remove. That's it. And just like that, the FAQ has been removed from the header. Very simple indeed. And then you click publish right here. Publish. Okay. So there it is. You can go to header builder like so, and we have the title, primary menu, and the button. And the button is nothing but the phone number right here. And if I want to change this to my client's number, I could do that. Click on the button like so, and you'll notice the text here says plus whatever. I'm going to change that to plus 91-98 450 12345, something like that. All right, and then click publish. You put your actual business's phone number there. Okay, one more time real quick. The way you get here is first go into your WordPress dashboard, Astra, customize. The moment you do that, you can either click on the pencil here, that's what I did earlier, or you can on the left side go to header builder, and you can change all of these. Primary menu, and then configure the menu. Remember, top nav, edit it, and you can remove if you didn't want something. All right, so that's about header. What I want to also show you is the footer area. The footer is right here. We have a little text about the company, and then there is the links. That's fine. I like the links, but I want to change the text here. Again, I can click on the pencil icon, and guess what? It's going to take us to the footer builder like so. Okay, and then it's got the widget number 1. I'm going to click on there, and now under, you can click this little pencil icon, and that's when you'll see the text right there. Okay, let's say I want this text to be changed to something that I already typed somewhere, something like this. Let's say I'm going to take that, copy it back here. You'll notice, select this and paste it and publish it. Now if you notice in the footer area, just below the logo, it has some text that makes sense. It's not just placeholder text. Also, if you notice, there are social icons. You can click on any of them. See Facebook, you want to change it, put a URL in here, your website's URL. Okay, it could be something like facebook.com/IMCM Manjunath. For example, that's my Facebook page, so I'll publish it. That's it. How cool is that? That's how it is done. All right, that brings us to almost the end of this course. But I'm going to give a bonus away. Remember, I told you that this website is being built for a real business that wants leads for the electrician. So to do that, you need a contact form, don't you? So in this bonus video, I'm going to show you how to work with contact forms and how to get them connected to your email address. So real quick, I'm going to head back in here. Remember, on our website, I'm going to close all this. I'll go to the dashboard. This is how it looks like, the front end, all right? And if you notice, there is a contact form already. We have your name, email address, contact number, purpose of contact, and your message. But if I go to edit with Elementor, keep an eye now, I couldn't really change the fields right here, right? It doesn't have that. It just says something called short code, and then it says WP forms. Okay, so this comes from a WP form. So you couldn't really change the fields right from here. And for this, you have to head back to your dashboard. On the left, look for WP forms. Okay, go to WP forms, and when you do that, you will see the contact form and then there is a request form. Okay, now let's take a look at this. This is 1870. I'm going to keep an eye on that. There it is, 1870. So this is the one. So that's how you'll be able to connect a form to check which one you need to tweak. It's called the request form. I'm going to click on that. And the moment you do that, on the right, just like in Elementor, you have the different fields. Now you can tweak them, all right? And you can pick one field, like say this one, name. You can click on there, and the moment you do that, you'll see the label, the format, and description, and so on and so forth. So you can tweak anything that you want right there. Let's say I don't want this comment or message. Okay, I don't want this. In that case, you can just take your mouse over to the trash icon right here, click, and okay, and guess what? That field is gone. Okay, and instead of request call, let's say, you see, I clicked on that button. Now I can change the button text, submit button text. You see that? Instead of request call, I could just say call me back, just to show you as an example. And once you make those changes, you can click save. And now I go to the front end, keep an eye, I'm going to reload this page. The message should be gone. The message field should be gone. And it is indeed gone. And instead of request call, it says call me back. Mission accomplished. So one more thing I want to let you know, folks, is about the settings. Okay, so you'll notice that there are fields. Yeah, this is where we were. We can go into settings and then see the form name and all of that. Okay, sending. You can also look at the email address, right? So you head into notifications here. This is very important. Make sure that your send to email address is admin email. So whatever email address that you gave when you installed WordPress, if you remember earlier, we entered an email address and then a password. I wanted you to make a note of it on a notepad. Remember, that's the email that's going to receive your emails. When somebody fills the form, it's going to send all the fields to that email address. That's it. That's how simple this can be. And this is using WP forms. Works well with Elementor. Okay, I hope this course was useful to you. Thank you very much for watching this entire video, this entire course. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.